Page 26, La Bamba. I'd like to talk about a few things here. We'll start with the right hand. As far as the fingering goes in the right hand, the fingering in the book is fine. I don't have any real suggestions to offer there. There is some staccato notes and they're important, so make sure you play them. Right at the beginning, in the first measure, you have a rest. And that staccato is important. You're going to hear them throughout, and it's important. The left hand, on the other hand, I do have some suggestions. Again, the left hand has some staccatos, and they're important, so make sure you do that at the first measure. The second quarter note is staccato, not the first. You go one, rest, rest, rest. So make sure you get the staccatos. Now, with some fingering things, look at the last two eighth notes on the first line on page 26. Left hand, they want you to go 3-1, 3 or 2-1. I think that's unnecessary. You're playing the quarter note 3-1 and it's staccato. So you can play the first eighth note 2-4, and now you're in position to play the other one. Now, it might seem a little awkward to your fingers, but I would encourage you to learn to do that with your fingers because you're going to run across it. After a while, it really isn't awkward anymore. After a million years or so, you'll get it. This pattern comes up elsewhere, and each time it comes up I recommend the same fingering. The 2-4 on the first eighth note and then a 3-1 on the other. Third line down on page 26, last measure, left hand still, the eighth notes. Now you played the B flat right in front of the eighth notes, fourth finger, and it's staccato. So now I recommend 3-1 on the first and then 2-4. It's the same fingering as before, but now the notes are reversed. You're going down instead of up. Over on page 27, third line down, look at this in the left hand. They want you to cross over the thumb here. There's nothing wrong with crossing over the thumb. You've been doing it. You could use the practice by all means. However, it's unnecessary in that first measure and the last measure of that line, and also in the next line when you get the same notes. You can play the 5-1 and then do a 2-1 and then a 4 or a 5, either one, it doesn't matter. Then do your crossover. I come off of that quarter note. If you want to hang on to the quarter note, it's up to you. I tend to play it short. It's an interpretive thing. They didn't say I couldn't, so I did. And that's pretty much it for the left hand. Let's talk rhythm. Again, if you'll just do the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and slowly, you can work out this rhythm right at the beginning. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and... You get it. Once you get the rhythm, you slowly speed it up a little bit. Over on page 27, those measures I was playing before, the third line down, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. Just make sure when you play the notes in the right hand, you're playing the right note in the left hand. So you're playing those notes together. It goes. Now, roadmap wise, over on page 27, next to the last line, there is a DS al sign, then coda. A DS squiggly sign, al coda sign, then coda. What? They don't need the then coda. Just the signs will do it. The squiggly sign is where you go back to. You DS to the squiggly sign. DS is go back to the sign. And that is over on page 26, the second line, second measure, between the first and second measures. That's where you go back to. Then you go the rest of the page 26 and the first two lines on 27. Then at the end of the second line on page 27 is that circle with the crosshairs. That's the coda sign. So at that point, you jump down to the coda, which is the last line in the piece. Now the coda, there's instructions there to repeat and fade. That means since the coda is repeated, it's got repeats, you're just going to keep repeating it over and over and over and over. And each time you're just going to get softer and softer and softer. Don't know how many times, what do you feel like it is? When we do the play with me section, I'm only going to repeat it one time, and I'm going to stop. See, this piece, it doesn't really have an end. It just kind of fades away until you can't hear it anymore. So work out the rhythm carefully. Work out all the fingerings and everything one hand at a time. Gradually speed it up, and when you think you've got the notes and the rhythms, then come back and play it with me. So I'm going to play it really, really, really slow, because I want you to hear the notes and I want you to hear the rhythms in case you got anything wrong. Now, this happens to be in the key of F major. It's got one flat, a B flat. I would still encourage you to go do my scale video on F major, on the intermediate part, 2 octaves up and down. Just learn it. Let's try this out. Left hand's here, right hand's here, and the hands do move around, so just be ready for it. You should know that by now, huh? 4 counts. 1, 2, and ready, and go, and.